Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages and another one of our rapid review episodes, where in 10 minutes or less, I'm going to full spoil have a discussion about something I've read recently that I just want to talk about. I'm Jim, the father of Fantasy for the Ages. My son Zach and I put all this content out here for you: rapid reviews, tiny talks, long form episodes on the Wheel of Time, and other fantasy and sci fi things we enjoy. Be sure to check out everything on our channel. I hope you'll like this episode and literally, click the like button. Any comments, put them down below. And while you're looking around down there, check out all the ways you can connect with us: Discord, social media, even our Patreon. And we sure hope you'll subscribe. We love seeing those numbers climb as more of you find us and enjoy what Zach and I are having fun putting out. So let's talk about Zombie Fallout, this amazing series by Mark Tufo. I'm a fan of the zombie apocalypse subgenre of fantasy slash horror, and this is a special series. Zombie Fallout is not a no holds bar gore fest. It is not a down and dirty, gritty military struggle against the zombie hordes. It's not a social commentary on all the wrongs of humanity told through the filter of zombies. It's none of that stuff. It's just a fun romp through what happens when the zombies take over, told by author Mark Tufo, primarily through the perspective of his key character, Mike Talbot. Now, Mike Talbot, he's just a dad. He's ex-military. He's a little bit of a prepper. Sure, the world is going to fall apart at some point, and sure enough, it does. When it does, he quickly determines to do whatever he has to do to achieve his primary objective, which is take care of his family. It's all about family, man. He is a creative guy. He's an energetic guy. He loves his wife, loves his kids, but he's a guy, like just a guy. He's got foibles like any old guy. He's got bad habits. He can be irreverent. He definitely is someone who handles anxiety with humor. And this channels through everything that happens. I mean, the things that will come out of his mouth throughout this series is intentionally written this way to crack us up, but also to bring levity to life and death situations. Because the zombies are trying to eat people. Okay, that's what zombies do. There are a few key facets of this series that make it really stand out for me as far more entertaining than most zombie apocalypse literature. And I want to key off on these for you here in this review. One is it doesn't take itself too seriously while not losing touch with the fact that there are some serious themes and some tough happenings in this story. So the tone is often very light. Even in the darkest moments, Mike Talbot can crack a joke, and someone will be right there with him to kind of be the straight man or to crack right back. And it keeps it engaging in a light and humorous way. Second, he's a dog guy. Okay, much of what happens in the series is partly generated to him taking care of his family, and that includes Henry, his English bulldog, just as much a part of the family as anyone else. And he will go to great lengths to take care of Henry. Other pets come into the story along the way, and they become part of the family, and they will take actions as necessary to take care of the animals. But so we've got, okay, these people trying to survive in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, and a great part of the story is the interactions between these family members and then the extended family. People they meet along the way who end up being part of who Mike Talbot is going to try to fight for. It's going to try to care for, and often will fight with, not meaning they're fighting each other, although that's very true with one main character, but others that are they're fighting as a team. There's power in numbers. There are even characters who will come into Mike's circle at times and fight alongside him, and they're better for it, but then they decide to go their own way, and almost always that's a mistake. But Mike's no dictator. He respects people's freedom to choose. In most zombie apocalypse fare, you've got these characters and their fight against zombies, as well as their fight against bad people. And there are bad people in this series too. But those aren't usually the primary issues. Those are a secondary issue until you get very late in the series where the bad people become the bigger issue. Early on, we find out okay, it's not just about zombies, it's also about vampires. Yeah, vampires are real in this series here. And one of them ends up really having it out for Mike. Mike is on her crap list and she uses the zombies. And whoa, it's a very complicating layer that gets added into this. And then we add to the fact, again, this is full spoiler, people. So I'm not going to go into every plot line, but I'm definitely revealing some things here. So be aware of that. One of the people in Mike's close circle is not whom he appears to be. And it turns out one of these people, not direct family, but kind of adopted into the family, is a vampire. And no one knew it. They've known him since before the zombie apocalypse, but he's a vampire. Later in the series, Mike becomes a vampire. Bomb dropped there, but not what you necessarily would think. It's fascinating how Tufo writes this. I love it. And just discovering how it goes about and how it comes about and where it goes, it's very true to who Mike is. Beyond vampires, we also discovered there are lichens, kind of like werewolves, but really they're just big, wolfy dog animals. But they are intelligent entities that have been around all along, too. We come to find there are demons, there are witches. These add interesting layers to the story. There are parallel realms of existence. Okay, that's way too complex to go into on this, but there's one fascinating character in the series called Trip. And his name is great because he can kind of trip through the realms of existence. He's a stoner, man. He does half the time he doesn't really know what's going on, but yet he seems sometimes to know more about what's really going on than anyone around him. Great character. Love Trip. He drives everyone nuts, and yet he can also save the day at times. Fascinating. The key in this series that I think gives much of it the charm that it has is Mark Tufo's love for this character, Mike Talbot. He's written other book series, the Mike Talbot Adventures or Michael Talbot Adventures, where the same character is set into different worlds, different scenarios. One of them's an alien invasion. One of them involves ghosts. One of them is with just the lichens. And they're not the same Mike Talbot. And yet they kind of are. It's like if this Mike Talbot existed in a different parallel universe, this is how he would act. And he has the same group of friends around him, but some of them who died are now still here. Some who aren't here, didn't die elsewhere. It's interesting how he chooses to use this same set in different ways. I think the 20th book in the series is going to come out in just a couple of months. And the core story kind of officially ended, and yet he found a way to keep telling some more stories, and it makes sense. So I like it. I highly recommend it. I'll also point out here, right there, the book of Riley, which I just read recently, 5 short novellas that are another spin on the zombie Fallout universe told through the eyes of pets. Again, dogs, cats, these are a vital part of the zombie Fallout universe, and to actually see their own perspective was another delightful spin. So, again, one of the most entertaining series that I've checked out, Zombie Fallout. Check it out. They might even make it into a TV series, I hear, someday. I'm waiting to see if that really comes out. I think it'd be pretty good. The relationships between the core characters, there's a lot of material to work with. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for being with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.